this hill. Have a little story time. Tell you the story of the email that I got when I was on vacation. I don't know how the stream is running here, but hopefully it's running halfway decent. Get this story out. I got an email from Miss Stephanie. Stephanie, if you're listening, honey, that was a beautiful email you sent me about your father, about you and your father. Brought me to tears. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a pretty sentimental guy, man. I get a little mushy sometimes. It may not seem like it, but I definitely have my moments. And yeah, that one got me. That was one of my biggest reasons why I love doing what I'm doing as far as with the videos and everything else. It's when I hear people say that it reminds them of when they were young and their dad was a truck driver, or even a few of them, their mother was a truck driver, and they used to go with them. They used to go with their parents in the truck in the summertime when they didn't have school. Even a couple that basically was homeschooled out of the truck, which is awesome for sure. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to hear. Like, you remind me of my dad, or my dad or my mom. They passed away. I don't get a chance to hear their voice anymore, and you bring back the memories of the time of being in the passenger seat in the truck and hitting the switches and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, anytime I get any kind of message like that, it warms my heart, man. It's amazing that I can be just out here, like, just being sarcastic and satire and having fun and ripping on people and just doing my job basically how I do it. And to hear people that it brings back really good memories for them, that yeah, like I said, man, that warms my heart. So anyway, this woman Stephanie sent me an email, and she even apologized in the first paragraph, like, I hope you get this, and I apologize for being long-winded, but here we go. And I can't say, it's probably maybe it was handwritten, might have been 2 pages. But anyway, I'm not going to go crazy into every detail, but she grew up in the southeast part of Arkansas on some kind of farm, a soybean, a couple different things that they farmed on that farm. So anyway, but her father was a truck driver who worked local and regional, and ran all the stuff like I do, basically, in a dump truck. I don't know if it was a dump trailer, but anyway, it was a big truck. And he also moved heavy equipment, so basically what I do too, which was pretty cool. And his name was WildThang. That was his handle on the CB. Man, I hope this stream is not being hoppy choppy right now. But anyway, his handle was WildThang, and when she would go with him, she was Lil WildThang. So her mom even had little trucker hats made up with their handles on them and everything, and she would go with him all the time. She would always be, dumping the bags or hitting the switches for something, whatever he needed, driving along. She enjoyed doing all that. She even said, when I beep the horn, or when I pull the air horn for the kids or for other people that are giving me the old arm pump, it reminds her of leaning across her dad's lap and grabbing the cord for the kids and all that kind of stuff. So that's just the story enough was great. But where it went was we actually lost him in 2016, and heartbroken, I'm sure, beyond belief. He had a rough last couple of years, and he still continued to drive. He actually became a bus driver, and said that was his most precious cargo he's ever hauled. Guy sounds like a hell of a guy. So that being said, she didn't have a lot of memorabilia from her dad. She had some stuff, and she ended up moving around a little bit after he passed, and she had some stuff that reminded her of him but didn't have very much. Still had the trucker hats and all that kind of stuff. Didn't have many recordings of him, though, how he sounded. So, anyway, she was moving around. She ended up moving to Michigan, where actually still Mercury, our moderator, where she's from. She moved to Michigan, and she had his stuff in a storage unit, a bunch of stuff, her stuff in a storage unit, and it did have the memorabilia stuff that she had from Dad and that stuff. Well, the storage unit was broken into, and she lost everything. She lost every piece of any kind of memorabilia she had of her father, the hats, any little recordings she had, and she probably lost a shit ton of other stuff too. She didn't mention that to me, but I would imagine if it got broken in, she probably lost everything. So, yeah. To make a long story short, she was actually going through all the rigmarole, the court cases. When they did find the people that broke in, she didn't get any of her stuff back, obviously, but she still had to go to court and deal with these scumbags and all that. So, if I remember the story right, I'm not reading it right now, but if I can remember the story right, she was actually in her car after the last court case, and a little banged up, not, pretty upset about losing everything and how it all went down, and probably even after facing these dirtbags. So, anyway, she just went on her phone, I guess, to try to, get her mind off what was going on, and she popped on YouTube Shorts, and who popped up? Damn straight. Joey Whispers popped up on her YouTube Shorts, and she started crying. She heard her dad in my voice. She heard her dad from the cussing to how I said things and how I portrayed other people and everything like that. Her dad taught her when she was driving in the truck with her, the dangers of what other people do and why they do it, and gave her a very good perspective of a truck driver, and she got to see it for herself. So that was pretty incredible email for her to take the time and tell me that she doesn't need recordings of her dad anymore. She has my YouTube Shorts. She can listen to it, and it brings back memories of her father. And I'll tell you what, yeah, that gets my goat a little bit, guys. That nothing better than that, man. I mean, how the hell, everything that I do out here, I don't care, how much time it takes me to put this stuff together, and it's a pain in the ass sometimes, like I said, trying to stay connected and all that. But yeah, how much stress I have over that, just basically the job, and, trying to live life in the best possible way like everybody else. And any dollar that I've ever, received from doing this, all of them added up together, man, can never be as important to me as that freaking email right there. That was pretty special, man. So that's wanted to share that story with you. Stephanie, if you're listening, I love you, hon. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, sharing your story with everybody. I'm sorry if you didn't want that shared with everybody, but I thought it was important enough for everybody to hear your story and maybe say a prayer for your dad, WildThang, and a little prayer for Lil WildThang too. So I truly hope you got a chance to hear it. If not, I'm going to send you an email back with the timestamp when I told the story. And again, I hope no disrespect there with telling that story. It was kind of a personal story, but I felt it warranted a little live stream time, especially with the community that I have in here. They're all good people, all the way around. So yeah, I think they would appreciate it as much as I did. Maybe not as much as I did, because I really did appreciate it. So that was pretty incredible. Your dad was one hell of a truck driver, I'm sure. One hell of a man doing what he did, teaching you what he taught you, and giving you the little opportunity to spend some time with him out in the truck. all time that I could have had my boys with me. When I started working local here, I brought them with me a couple times, and it was absolutely awesome. Just having that vision, even right now, looking over to the passenger seat and seeing them there, that was pretty special too, man. So, Stephanie, if you're listening, thank you so much for that email. I really, really appreciate it, and you taking the time and telling your story, and it really hit me in a little special way, a little different way there. So, I'm gonna do this real quick. Turn this down. How about you, WildThang? WildThang, you got your ears out? Come out. WildThang, WildThang, you got a copy? Come on. Hey everybody, this is the last call going out to WildThang. Lost him back in 2016. Just a little late on my end here, but thought he deserved it. WildThang, we miss you, man. Little WildThang misses you too. And we hope you're looking down at all of us with smiles. And we got your loads from here, brother. Dan boom. Alright, Stephanie, I know you didn't ask for that and wasn't expecting it, I'm sure, but felt that needed to be done as well. Last call going out to WildThang. Garland, WildThang, Manis. Godspeed to you, brother. Hope you're looking down, big smile for your daughter, because she deserves it. Alright, story time over. Everybody, give everybody a little time to dry your eyes now. Woo! I hope you got all that story, guys. It was a good one. Man, I got chills. Thank you, WildThang, and thank you, Lil WildThang. By the way, if anybody ever's out at some kind of little mini mart or anything, you see a couple trucker hats with WildThang and Lil WildThang on it, pick them up for me. Send them to me. I'll make sure you're taken care of for that, because I'd love to get them back to her.